Hi, it's Anna with Create Your Future. In today's video, I want to talk to you about how to assume your desires into physical facts, how to assume something into being. In basic manifestation terms, that's exactly how manifestation works. You assume something and then it manifests. Sometimes we do it accidentally, other times we do it consciously on purpose, and that's the part we're going to talk about in this video. Before we start, remember that we are giving away 3 free sessions, and the way you enter the giveaway is by telling us in the comments something that you have consciously manifested. If you would like to book a coaching session with me, you can do it from the link in the description box below. And if you would like to try my course, Self-Concept 360 Degrees to Manifest Anything, the link is also in the description box below. It's a very detailed course that includes everything that has to do with self-concept. And if you follow me, you know that I put a lot of focus on self-concept because you manifest everything through your self-concept. And that's a course with which you can work on your self-concept in general or your self-concept in your specific manifestations. It's very helpful. It puts you on a whole different level as a conscious manifester, so I hope you'll give it a try. So let's talk about how to assume things into being. The law is the law of assumption, and that is why I am talking about assuming. By the way, lately my clients ask about what is the difference between assuming and believing, affirming and intending. For me, it's the same thing with different words. And the confusing thing for you is, one of the confusing things, is that different coaches use different words for the same things. Simplify it. A lot of what you hear is about the same thing, but since everyone is explaining things differently, it sounds like, oh, this is something new, now I have to learn something new. It's not. Assuming in manifestation is Neville's term. Of course, it's not Neville's word, but it's Neville's term in manifesting, and the law is law of assumption. Your assumptions are essentially the programming of your mind, and the part of your mind that has been and can be programmed is the subconscious part, the subconscious mind, which is the part that is manifesting. But before an idea can get into the subconscious mind, it has to go through the conscious mind, which is your logic, which is the negative chatter, which is the part that says, oh no, what you're affirming is not true because we have evidence of it not being true from the past, from the present, etc., etc. There are people, and I remember when I was learning to manifest, there was a coach on YouTube who said that to manifest anything, this person just feels like it's already true. They feel like they have this inner knowing that their manifestation is theirs, and they keep persisting in that knowing, that inner knowing that it's theirs, and then it manifests. I'm guessing there are people who can naturally do it, but I wasn't understanding how to do it, so I thought that's something I need to learn, how to like naturally feel that it's yours. And to be honest, I still don't get it. Like, if I have a desire, how can I like boom, click and feel like it's mine? If you can do it, that's great. This video is not for you. Skip it. Otherwise, what you can do is literally the steps you do to manifest anything. And here there's another topic to mention. I have made a video on this one also, and it's about believing. A lot of people are worried that they don't believe their affirmations, they don't believe that new story, and whether or not it manifests if they don't believe it. You don't have to believe it in the beginning. It doesn't matter. Again, if you can click and believe, great for you. It gets into your subconscious, it comes to programming, and it manifests. Otherwise, here's what I do, and here's what you can do. With every method that you choose to manifest, repetition, and especially focus while you're repeating it is key, and also persisting in it. Neville says persist in an assumption until it hardens into fact, something like that. And that's literally what you need to do. So if you choose your favorite method of manifestation, of conscious manifestation, or you choose all of them at once, and you do that. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean affirming mental diet. Mental diet is affirming. Visualizations, inner conversations, contemplating on something, scripting. All those are things that help you to program your mind if you do it enough. You need to choose your end goal, and your end goal is something that you want to experience. There are no right or wrong end goals. This is also something I've been asked a lot lately, like what is the right thing to visualize? And my answer is, I don't know. What is the right thing for you to experience? What do you want to experience? That is the right thing for you to visualize, or to affirm, or to script, or to have inner conversations about. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Choose the one you have fun with, because the thing that you have fun with, you're going to stick with it. And that's key. So let's say you have a programming in your mind that isn't working in your favor. You are trying to manifest a relationship, and if you are working on consciously manifesting a relationship, it means you are not in the relationship yet, physically. And the way manifestation works is that you can only physically experience something that is already in your awareness. What does this mean? It means that if you are experiencing something, good or bad, in your physical reality, it means that you have some sort of assumption. It means that you have thoughts. By the way, assumptions can be different things. Assumptions can be positive. Assumptions can be negative. Assumptions can be fears. Assumptions can be beliefs. Someone said something and you believed it. It became an assumption. It has to manifest. Whatever you have on the inside has to manifest on the outside. And on the other hand, it cannot manifest on the inside or on the outside if you don't already have it on the inside. So you can only experience things that you are aware of. This means that your negative experience, or unwanted experience, is something that you are on some level aware of. You have an assumption, you have a fear about it, or you have a belief, something that it manifested. On the other hand, if you want to manifest a different situation, unless you become aware of it, it can't manifest, because you can only experience things in your physical reality that you have on the inside. Therefore, you need to do the work of reprogramming your mind so that you can become aware of that new thing that you want to experience. And the way you do it is by starting to tell a different story, starting to tell a story that you actually want to experience. And I know you have heard this a lot about telling a different story, new story, old story, etc. Here's a simple formula. You decide what you want. You decide that you want to be in this beautiful relationship with this specific person, or with no specific person, just in a beautiful relationship, and you describe it to yourself. That is either your scene, your affirmations, the thing that you script, the thing that you tell people in your mind, in your conversations, the thing that you tell yourself through affirmations, and you keep repeating it. The more you repeat it, the more your mind will become familiar with that story. And mind you, resistance might come up. And here, that's the job of your conscious mind, to resist anything that is new, or resist anything that it hasn't experienced yet. If you have a lot of evidence around you that what you're affirming is not true, it can never happen because that person is not like that, people don't change, that person is stubborn, etc., etc. I want to realize that that's a story, that's a habitual thinking, and it doesn't have to be true. Even though it feels true, a lot of stuff that we experience in the 3D just feels like the ultimate truth. It's not. It's just the manifestation of your assumptions. And when you start looking at it like that, the 3D loses a lot of its power. So you start repeating your new story in the form of affirmations, visualizations, or scripting, or inner conversations enough, even without believing. Again, you don't have to believe in your affirmations to do this. You just keep repeating it. At some point, your mind will become so familiar with this story that it starts accepting it. It starts feeling like kind of okay, like kind of it could happen. It starts feeling like it's possible. It could happen to me, yes. It means that your mind is starting to accept it. It means that you're winning over your stubborn conscious mind. And by the way, this is the reason that I don't really believe in subliminals. I have used them. Maybe I've used them in a wrong way. I don't know. They never really did anything for me. Because I think that the thought needs to go past the conscious mind. Maybe through hypnosis, if you get yourself into the meditative state, you can reach the subconscious without working with the conscious. I have no clue about this, but I know that if you keep repeating the thought, and you repeat the thought with your conscious mind, before it becomes an assumption and before it sinks into your subconscious mind, you kind of, I don't like to use this word, but you kind of force yourself to repeat that new thought. And you force your conscious mind to think that thought. It doesn't want to, but you make it think it. You make it affirm that you are loved, that your person is yours, that you are in that relationship, that you have that kind of money, etc., etc., etc. At some point, your conscious mind will give up. It will fight you for a period, long or short, it depends on you. But at some point, if you persist, and this is why you need to persist, your conscious mind will give up and it will just accept it. Because like for me, I feel like when I affirm and I feel like it's kind of starting to sink in, I can imagine my conscious mind like a different person saying, oh God, she's repeating this so much. Maybe it's true. Or I'm giving up. I can't do this. Just going to bring me to that story over and over again. I'm giving up. So that's the kind of game I'm playing with my conscious mind. Like imagine two people saying two different things over and over again. The one that persists wins. Those two people is you and your conscious mind trying to contradict you. If you persist, it will sink in. You persist, again, either through affirmations and mental diet during the day, or you visualize. Of course, you can't visualize all day long, but you think thoughts all day long, and you can affirm all day long. Again, God, this sounds like a lot of work, like you need to really affirm 24/7. You don't have to. You just need to affirm when you think about the subject. If it's a lot, then yes, it's a lot of affirming. If it's a couple of times a day, then it's a couple of times of affirming during the day. What is important is that instead of letting your mind go to the old story or the current story, which is the old story, you bring it to your new affirmations, and you make your mind become used to this new story. You do that enough, your conscious mind gives up, it sinks into the subconscious, all of a sudden it's your new programming, and all of a sudden it's an assumption, and you start believing in it. And then it manifests. It sounds very simple. It's not always very easy to do, but like my take on this is that it doesn't matter how difficult it is. If you want something, you just do it. You just do it until you get there, because the alternative to it is to not get there and not get your desire, and you don't want that. So persist in the assumption so that you can come to a point where you assume your desire into a physical fact. You persist in an assumption until it becomes a physical fact. These are Neville's words. I have tested it so many times, and I am not asking you to take my word for it. Please test it, because when you put this to the test, and when you try it out yourself, and when you get that feeling of receiving something that you know you manifested because you affirmed for it and you persisted through resistance and through hard times, and you got it, it's a satisfaction I cannot describe. And when you have that satisfaction and when you have that experience, you gain a whole new confidence in yourself, in your power, in the power of your mind and your thoughts. You start manifesting bigger things. That's what happened to me. Every time I manifested something and it was mind blowing, it doesn't matter how small the thing is, just the fact that you know that I visualized this and it happened exactly like that, or I affirmed for this. And in the beginning, I remember it didn't feel like it could ever happen. Even the smallest thing sometimes feels like, yeah, it's too stupid, won't happen. But you just continue affirming, and it happens. It's, again, no matter how small the thing is, it's mind blowing. I'm not even talking about the big things. When that happens, for me, I kept thinking, like, if my mind can do this, what else can I do? Like, well, let's try bigger thing, crazier thing, weirder thing. I have manifested stuff like change in the weather. Not that I needed it, I was just trying the power of my mind. And when that happened, I remember my thought was like, if my mind can do this, what else can I do? Like, imagine the power that your thoughts have. And this is how you assume things into being. You repeat it until you see it. There's a saying, I don't know if it's a saying in and of itself, or people say like, I will believe it I will believe it when I see it. Manifestation works the exact opposite way. I will see it until I believe it. And how do I come to believe it or slash assume it? I repeat that story until my mind accepts it. And by the way, I mentioned different methods of manifesting. They all have one thing in common, and that's persistence, that's repetition. Whether you affirm or you visualize or you script or you have inner conversations, they all need the same thing to come to pass, and that is repetition. You repeat one thing enough, you put focus on one thing enough, it will become your new programming, and the programming is what is manifesting. Your subconscious mind works like that. It is programmed already. It just has some programs that you don't want, some that you do want, and the ones that you don't want can be reprogrammed. That's the good thing about it. You can reprogram your mind to think and believe and assume anything that you want. You just need to do this work of repeating that end goal that you choose to experience. That's all you need to do. I hope this made a lot of sense. I hope this simplified it for you. You don't need to click and believe or click and feel like it's true. Again, if you can, good for you, then you can consciously manifest things very easily. If you can't, it's not a problem. You get there. And I think a lot of people do it like that. Neville, like the genius Neville, used repetition. He talks about affirmations in one of his books, I don't remember which. He talks about repetition in visualizing a lot. He talks about assuming and persisting in the assumption until it becomes fact a lot. So it's not that you are, like I thought, a bad manifester if you have to do the work to get there. It's just that you need to get the hang of it, and there's nothing that you can't manifest. Yes, we all have limiting beliefs. Yes, we all work with limiting beliefs. The more you manifest, the more you figure out about yourself. Stuff come up, like old things come up. You need to work with them. We all do that type of work. It doesn't mean someone is better at manifesting than someone else. It's just that some people have consciously tested it so much and they have so much evidence that it's their mind manifesting things that that it becomes very natural. For some people, it becomes a habit. Also for you, like if you're not into the habit of doing things like these, you if you do it enough, it becomes a habit. It becomes easier. I promise, it becomes easier. And it becomes more and more interesting. The more things you manifest, the more interesting and the more exciting it becomes. Again, because if you're like me and you are testing stuff, like what else can I manifest? Like stuff like change in the weather. Again, it's not something that you need mostly, but it's so much fun to see what your mind can do. It's mind blowing. Anyway, this was all for today. I really hope this helped. I'm going to intend that this helped. And again, remember that we are giving away 3 free sessions. Remember to enter the giveaway. If you need help with your manifestations and want to book a coaching session with me, the link is in the description box below, and the link for my course about self-concept is also in the description box below. I hope you'll give it a try and let me know. Have a beautiful day.